Hey guys, I'm Rachel Cruz.
I'm George Camel.
And this is Smart Money Happy Hour. Cheers, George.
Cheers. We're back.
Delicious.
We are back in business,
wow.
baby.
Well, this is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. So everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
And today we're talking about things we thought would be fun about being an adult when we were kids that turned out to be, well, not that fun. Kind of a scam.
Yeah, for sure. You know, some of them are money related, if you will. There's a lot to be an adult, George.
Well, most of being an adult that's not fun is money related, I feel like.
No, boo.
And we're also
Smart Money Happy Hour.
Well,
we need to make it a little bit
Not everything can be happy all the time.
I will bring the happess this episode.
We can't all be Miss Rachel and Blippy all the time, Rachel.
Guarantee
Gotta be
it.
real.
Well, what's making me happy is this little drink we got here, George. So what are we sipping on throughout this episode?
This one is aptly named by our mixologist, Michael Reddish, and it's called the Reddish Rita.
Yeah.
And he has nailed it. This is his custom special margarita recipe. And can I tell you, it's also the signature cocktail of the Live Like No One Else cruise that will be on in March of 2025.
Oh, that's right. Should we put a link in the description for people
Absolutely. I hope they join us.
You can check this out. If y'all didn't know, we're going to be cruising for a week next year with all of you people.
It's a debt-free celebration. All the Ramsey personalities, Dave, Rachel, myself, the whole crew, plus special guests for 7 weeks. Nope,
like
7 weeks.
I don't know. It's a lot of marks, George. That's a lot of marks.
Let's stick to 1 week. 7 days is probably more
7 days,
ideal.
I think, is great. But it's like Turks and Caicos, St. Thomas, Bahamas, like lots of great destinations. That'll be fun. So make sure to check that out. We'll put the link down below. And
or
join
go to
us.
RamseySolutions.com/cruise. I memorized the URL.
Make sure
Can't wait.
to check
and you
it
can
out.
try the Reddish Rita on the cruise. We'll be there with you, drinking it. We'll give you the rating and reveal the cost per glass at the end of the episode. And as always, recipe is in the show notes.
George Caroline, my middle, she's 6, and she says to me all the time, "You're just so lucky because you get to decide everything that you want to do, and we're kids, and you have to tell us what to do. We don't get to decide. We don't." Yeah. So she like has this like fantasy of like, when you're an adult, you get to like eat ice cream and stay up late and do whatever you want, whenever you want, because you're in charge of your life. They feel like that, yes. Which I remember that as a kid. Do you remember feeling like that?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to be an adult so badly because it just felt like they make the rules and we follow the rules. So I want to be the guy who gets to make the rules.
Are you Caroline right now?
A little bit. I get it. I'm with Caroline.
I know. It's true.
Goodness gracious. Well, every kid thinks adulthood is going to be the best thing ever. And here's some reasons. Not having to go to school.
That's
like
a
our
good
parents, they go to work and we thought work was going to be fun at the time.
You get to eat whatever you want, whenever you want. Ice cream at 8 a.m. Sure, you're an adult.
You do what you want.
You get to do it.
Choosing your own bedtime. That's a big one.
That is a big one. Yeah, the freedom there
just staying up late
great.
just to punish yourself for fun. That's part of being an adult, you know? Getting to drive.
Okay, that's a big one.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You don't have to hope that your parents can drop you off and you're like, eh.
You actually get mail.
That was fun.
I'm like, gosh, every letter goes to my parents. And then you find out it's bills.
Just junk mail and bills. Like, when's the last time you got mail that was like, oh, fun?
There's actually something here. I know.
Unless it's the wholesale club and they're telling you, here's the savings of the month. I actually open that.
You're very excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. You read this list off, and I'm kind of like reminding myself, oh my gosh, I am an adult. I could do this. Like, I could eat ice cream at 8 a.m. if I wanted. Yeah. No one's stopping me.
And it is awesome. Like, driving is awesome. Just getting to go in my car and take myself wherever I want is wonderful. And in my car, I can listen to whatever music I want to listen to, and my mom can't say I'm not allowed.
Oh, there you go.
Secular music, Rachel. To listen to secular music.
Were you not allowed to listen to secular music growing up?
I wouldn't say I'm not allowed. I just wanted to honor and respect my mother. And so when I would listen to Blink-182, I would have the headphones on and my Walkman. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I didn't want my parents to be upset.
Okay. Wow. What a people pleaser, George.
Well, that's how I got to where I am today, Rachel.
Never knew this. I feel like I've asked you this on past episodes. What was your first music? What was your first CD that you bought that your parents knew about and all of it?
Why are you you're here to make fun of me? You know it was Britney Spears.
Oh, is that what it was? I feel like I remember you saying it last year, but I couldn't remember.
It was a time when all the hot albums were dropping at once. It was like NSYNC,
but it was
Backstreet.
Baby One More Time. It was the pink cover with her, right?
Yeah.
I remember it.
I think I had the 1 cent CD program. Remember those? Like for 1 penny, you'll get a CD every month. And it was like some weird scam. I still don't know how it worked. But I feel like I was taking them to the cleaners on this.
Oh man, so good.
But parts of adulthood feel like a scam. I think we can all admit that. Because we realize like, oh, the reason that adults aren't having to go to school is because they have to go to work.
Yeah, there's like other things. And again, that mail, it's bills usually, It's not like fun mail.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And
it
to be
is.
fair, our parents never seemed like super pumped to be adults. They weren't like, this is so cool.
This is so great.
You guys are missing out.
Do you want to hear about a money-related shock that I had as an adult, George?
I don't think I have a choice. Tell me.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We're all about paying off debt and all the things. So you pay off your house, and then you still have to pay property tax.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you don't pay that, they take your house away. You get a lien on your house. So, you technically don't, fully own it in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's a piece where, and we get that objection. People are like, well, Rachel, you can never really be debt-free because you'll always have payments. I'm like, yes, you have to pay your insurance and your property taxes.
I know.
But it's different than owing other people money. It's just you owe the government money forever. That's a part of life.
I know. And that was one part of adulthood that you're like, oh my gosh, that's real.
It's so that you can have nice roads and things and schools and firefighters and all that good stuff, I think.
Great. I know. It just was kind of made me want to revolt, do something different.
That's legit. And the thing is, property taxes, they always go up. They never go down. They're never like, hey, this year, cutting you a break.
You got a deal.
$1,000 less. Your house is somehow less expensive than it was.
Definitely not happening.
Oh, boy. Well, I have a list of money-related bummers from adulthood that make me want to revolt. You want to hear them?
It's kind of a sad episode.
Well, we'll get to the fun part.
Okay.
You ready for the list? Mm-hmm. Debit cards and credit cards especially have transaction fees.
What do you mean?
Well, there's transaction fees that are built in just because of the pleasure of swiping the card. Processing fees are a part of this. And think about it, who's paying for these fees? Business owners.
Yeah.
And guess what they do? They build them into their prices.
Okay, that's okay.
And pass it on to us.
Thank you. I needed the thread of where you were going in that George brain of yours.
You like that?
I was like, where? Now, international fees will really get me. We went to Mexico, swiped the debit card a lot. And man, it was
you didn't use my hack.
What?
There's a debit card out there, has no international transaction fees. You should have called me.
Shoot, George.
No one confers with me.
I know. Why is
vacations.
the first thought not
call George?
Not call George Camel. Unbelievable.
Anytime you're like, should we be paying this fee? Call George. He'll have a hack.
Okay, so do you transfer money onto that debit card that you're talking about?
Yes.
Just for trips?
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of a safer way, so it's not all connected to your official checking account.
Yeah, wow. George.
That's a life hack.
George, I'm gonna give you some props.
Thank you.
You're smart.
Yeah.
That was smart.
Hashtag not sponsored, but Charles Schwab is the one who has this. It's called an investor checking account. And with that, they give you a free debit card. No international transaction fees, no heebie-jeebies.
There you
so
go.
That's what I use when I travel internationally.
Well, that makes me happy.
But yeah, bank fees, that can be frustrating. There's also maintenance fees, service fees, inactivity fees, overdraft fees, ATM fees. As an adult, it's on you to read the fine print to know exactly what you're going to get charged for.
Yeah, such a bummer.
Which who's got time for that?
Are you ready for this one?
Yep.
If you have children who love the magic of Santa Claus and Christmas, pause this episode now.
Parents are freaking out right now.
Okay. Are we good? Are we safe? Because we're about to say some things.
We did the spoiler alert.
Okay. It's a bummer that Santa, he's not real, George.
What? What I thought you were going to say is Santa brings the gifts, but he charges the parents for the gifts.
I know. It is. That's a sad.
That's how it works, Rachel.
I know. Our oldest found out about this whole scam, if you will, recently. It was so sad.
They thought this was like a charity thing where it's like, well, Santa just brings you the gifts and it's free. No one pays for it.
Well, sure, it's not charity. They're just thinking it's the magic of Christmas that I've built up as their mother as a liar. And I've told them, this is what it is. And then the truth is, man, no.
How did you guys grow up? Was it like, well, certain gifts are from Santa and the other ones are non-Santa and we go and buy them?
So the Santa gifts were never wrapped in our household. This is like a big debate with people. So they were not wrapped. They were set out, which made sense to me because he pulled them out of his bag and there they are. And then the wrapped gifts were for mom and dad under the tree.
Wow, that's
smart.
What we
do. Yeah, that's what we do.
And saves on wrapping. So
it
life
honestly
hack.
it's actually a very smart.
So you guys would run downstairs and it was just right there in front of you.
Yeah, so we all had to be So dad's there with the big video camera on his shoulder.
My
You know what I mean?
What a sweet sight that would have been.
Yeah, just all of it.
Oh
it's
my
great.
gosh. We did a weird tradition. I don't know if it's because we're like Arabic Baptists growing up, but one of our relatives, it used to be my grandpa, then it got passed down to uncle. They would dress up as Santa, come through the front door with like a sombrero and like Christmas lights on, and they would just start yelling, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Then he would sit there and he would yell out names of like, from Santa to George. And we would sit there for an hour and a half and just do that.
And what did you get? A gift?
Yeah, he would just pass out the gifts that were under the tree.
And this is your grandpa?
Grandpa, sunglasses, sombrero. Don't know why the sombrero was there. I don't know why that became part of it.
Arabic and Spanish all
But
together.
it's now a treasured tradition in the family.
That
They
is
still
so-
do it. And we
Okay,
love
did
it.
you believe in Santa? Did y'all do Santa growing up?
Yeah, I believe in a thing called love. I believe in a lot of things. And I stand by
I'm so
it.
glad. That is one part of life that I would fight for. I think the Santa thing is so great.
It's wonderful. I
think it's
I think
magical.
you lose so much magic and creativity as an adult. There's been
Yeah.
studies that show this. You just get cynical and like nothing's real. And it was fun as a kid to just
It's so
believe
magical.
in something bigger
And what
than yourself.
a freaking bummer that it's not real.
Easter Bunny,
Unbelievable.
Tooth Fairy, you get money for
I
those
believed
things?
in all of it, y'all. I think my parents had to tell me in like the 4th grade. I was like fully committed to all of
I'm
this.
surprised Dave wasn't like, you know where money comes from? Work, not the freaking Easter Bunny. This is socialism.
Not the tooth fairy. You don't get to lose teeth and make money. You got to go to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
No.
never happened? Was he
No,
much? Okay.
No, it was very joyful.
Oh. Thanks for ruining my picture of what Dave was like as a young adult.
I had some of that. Yeah,
All right.
a little bit of that.
Next
That's
up on the
spite.
adulting list, when you finally buy a home, the to-do list, it's never done.
Oh,
It's
my
never done.
gosh. You know what they say, mo money, mo problems?
Yeah. Why did you say it like that? Was that a Sharon Ramsey impression? Rachel, you know they say mo money, mo
Isn't
problems.
Isn't that it though? Mo money, mo problems?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real though, because the more money you have, the more you're buying stuff and the more things break. Do you,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
more stuff you own, the more there is to maintain and repair.
and that's the thing. You know, we built a larger home than our last one, but that just means there's
More to
more
manage.
things. There's more air conditionings and more rooms. There's more. I mean, it's just more. You get more, and I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Well,
There's always something. There's always something. Toilet
I
paper
agree.
holder. Gosh, I have a list right now of things that I'm just like,
And Winston hasn't jumped on these?
I know.
Unbelievable. I guess
Some of them
chivalry
he's
is
done.
dead. I'm kidding.
Do you feel like y'all always have a to-do list of stuff?
Yeah, and some of it, unless it's like an emergency, we just sort of like, yeah, we'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's a lot of just organizing and like we just shove things in closets. And you're like, one day we'll organize that and
Yep.
we'll do the Goodwill run and we'll list it on Facebook Marketplace and and you never get around.
Great
to it.
intentions, you know?
Yeah.
Good
But once
intentions.
it is addictive, once you start, you can't stop. You're like, I'm getting rid of everything. You get in those modes.
Oh.
But like cleaning is another thing, you got to maintain. Things get dirty. The amount of laundry now, having a child, she's a little baby.
She's like this big, and then it creates so much
amount of-
laundry.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard from your wife at a baby shower, another baby shower I was at with her, that Mia said her first word.
She did. Dada.
It was Dada. I was like, oh,
She's really good. And she's a beautiful tone. I think she's going to be a singer.
really sweet.
You want to hear it?
Yes. Oh, play that audio.
All right, I'll put it in
This
the
is
mic so
beautiful.
America
See, this
can
is
hear.
the happy podcast I wanted. I don't want to be
America
all bummed out.
Doesn't get to hear this. You ready?
This is beauty of adulthood. Here you go. Oh,
Isn't that the most precious? It's just so sweet.
okay. Is she looking at you while she's saying it?
Yes.
Does she know what it is?
Direct eye contact.
Oh my gosh, precious.
Anyways,
See, it's all worth it.
that is one of the joys of adulthood is having kids and getting to see them be kids.
It's all worth it. Okay.
yeah.
So can we go back to the bummers part of all of this
Yes.
episode? Take the joy out. Okay, the average annual cost to maintain a single family home is about $6,663.
What?
According
A
to
year.
Thumbtack's Home Care Price Index.
Can I be
Q4
real?
of 2023.
I don't think we've come near paying over $6,000 a year for home maintenance.
I mean, I just wonder, like yard stuff, AC, appliances. Like, I don't know. Like, you
I
just
didn't think about that. Like all of I got pest control,
upkeep, yes.
lawn care,
Trash
got-
service.
Yep.
All
Oh
of it.
yeah, you're right. That could add up. I didn't think about
Good.
that.
I know. So
That is
crazy.
a part of it.
My gosh.
Oh my goodness. But it's still wonderful.
All right.
I still love home ownership.
Here's another one, George. You ready for this one? You don't always get a tax refund.
As a kid, I thought, well, you just get a bonus from the government for being awesome.
Always. Did you? Is that a thing? Like you really did think that?
kind of as a kid, not as an adult.
No, but as a kid, you thought that though?
Yeah, because you always hear like, oh, we're getting a tax refund. I was like, oh, sweet. The government's like blessing you.
See, that's growing up as Dave's kid, Dave Ramsey's kid.
He taught you early on.
Never heard that.
What did Dave teach you? Well, Dave probably never got a tax refund. He was always like down to the penny to
sure.
not pay, not a,
yeah.
you know.
So that wasn't like a convo in our household. So when I like became an adult and my peers were all excited about their tax refunds, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, people really do look forward to it, not realizing that they're just lending the government money, right?
Is that 0% interest?
For 9 months.
And I thought if you owed money, you had done something bad, terrible. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you owed money instead of getting a refund, I was like, oh, what'd you do?
Hey, would you rather owe or get a refund?
I'd rather owe,
Me
but
too,
to a reasonable degree.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to owe $20,000, but owing makes me think like, okay, well, I didn't let the government hang on to my money. I kept more in my check.
I'm the same
And
way.
as long as you're financially responsible, owing a little bit, you can cover it.
Well, I want to hit the 0.
That's the goal.
But if I were to like sway on one side of that 0, I would much rather just like write the check.
Yeah.
Because it's been sitting in a high yield savings account earning 5-6%.
Better than the government could do.
For sure. For sure. Okay.
All right, I'm glad we agree on something today.
Oh my gosh.
So don't celebrate your tax refunds.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
That's good. All right, next up, cell phones. Cell phone service, it can feel like highway robbery.
It's so true.
And even back in the day when it was, remember minutes? Like
Yes.
my family
Oh my
was so
gosh.
frugal. We were big on like, nope, you got 48 minutes. You can't go over that, otherwise
Yep.
they're going to charge us.
Or if it's long distance.
Oh, yeah. Were you making
You
a lot of
pay?
long distance calls in your day? Who were you calling?
That's a good question. Like my grandparents, but it was like, okay, we're going to talk to my mom and papa, but like,
Oh.
got to keep it short, you know? Keep it going because you're
Yes.
getting charged these.
I remember the days when I first got unlimited and I was so excited because I could talk to my girlfriend for like 4 hours on the phone.
And just chat it up.
Yep.
Were you
You
one
ever
of
do
those?
that?
You know, I've never was a phone talker.
Oh,
a big
really?
phone talker.
You seem like a big talker, but not on a phone.
Well, I
You
guess when
prefer
I was a
in
kid,
real
I
life.
guess when I was younger, and that's what we had before like cell phones and texting.
Well,
I
you
guess
and
we
Denise
did.
had your like party line.
Yeah,
You had
we had our own line. That's
with your
right.
own voicemail,
Oh,
which that's pure luxury to have
Classic.
your own phone line in the house.
it was a big deal. That was a big deal because I think mom and dad were so tired of us using the phone so much. So yeah, so I guess I was a phone talker. But I don't know if I had a relationship with a guy that I like talked to him on the phone though. I didn't have that
Oh,
during those days.
well, I guess I was a conversationalist. I was real romantic. I could just hold a conversation for 3 hours. I have no clue what we talked about. You know, and when you're 14, you're like, what did we talk about for 3 hours?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Our
It's
lives
just
were
the
so
idea.
uninteresting.
No tax returns to talk about.
Yeah,
you know?
now
I mean,
I'm
it's
like,
just
I got
not
things to
much.
talk about.
Not much there.
Let me hit you with this stat, Rachel. According to the 2024 JD Power report, don't forget about JD Power, the average wireless bill in America is $141 a month. That's $1,700 a year people are paying for their cell phones.
Yeah,
And as a kid, I didn't pay for my cell phone.
sure.
I was a part of my parents' plan. Some of y'all still on your parents' plan, and you're grown adults.
Unbelievable. It's okay.
It's okay, no judgment.
It's fine.
Did you ever rack up a crazy phone bill? I don't remember ever doing. Like, I feel like I was smart enough to be like, I don't want to get in trouble for making like a long distance call.
you know, I was known to call some numbers on the TV to order things. Like,
wow.
from back in the day.
Do you ever do prank calls? I
Yes.
love doing that.
And you
growing
did star
up.
69, so
Yes.
they couldn't like figure out what
That
your
is a
number was.
joy
Blocked
few people
number.
will understand.
Blocked caller ID when you had caller ID on the phone and it was like blocked. Oh, you had power.
Simpler times.
Power in that. But yo, think about that though. We had to call the home of our friend, talk to their parent or their dad,
Oh yeah.
and it's like,
Is Rachel home?
hi.
Can I talk to Rachel?
I don't know why all your friends are
Hey.
7 years old.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Raymer. Yeah. Is Mia there? Okay. 1 second. Mia, how's it going? Good. Yeah. I mean, like you
Yeah.
had to actually like converse with adults as like
I think
middle
Gen Z
schoolers.
would be like, I'm dead. I'm never making it. I would never.
I can't do
gross.
it. I can't do it.
Do you ever I made like payphone calls. Like, I put a quarter in after high
at
school and I'd call.
That was
and-
the movie theater days. When
Yeah.
our movie was over, I would call mom and dad from the payphone and tell them to come pick me up.
Aw. Wow.
I know.
We're showing our age.
Wow.
Well, you know what else
Are
feels
we
like highway?
boomers? Oh my gosh.
Are we secretly boomers?
Possibly. It's a little bit in the spirit. A little bit.
Rachel's still in her
spirit.
20s, which is so cool. I love that for you. You know what else feels like highway robbery on top of cell phone plans?
What?
Actual robbery.
Oh.
That feels like robbery.
Yes.
And the digital version of that, Rachel. That's what happened to me. Have you had your identity stolen? I feel like everyone wants to be you.
No.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened.
Wow. Thanks, George. No.
I never thought anyone wanted to be me. And then
Some old ladies in
Old
the
ladies,
Northeast
they
wanted to
opened
be.
accounts in my name. Racked
That's
up
a
debt.
great story, though.
Thank you. It's one of my
It
only
all
good
happens
ones.
for a reason. You know, they talk about suffering produces perseverance.
That's my
Perseverance,
version.
right? Like this was George's suffering, and your pain is now helping other people. Well done, George.
I'm the
Way
modern
to
day
embrace
Job.
your story.
The modern day Job. That's what
Way
they
to
call me.
embrace your story.
I overcame identity theft. Oh boy. Well, one of the ways, Rachel, I now avoid that ever happening again is by using and recommending people delete me, which is one of the sponsors of today's episode. So they scour
good.
the internet, they find and remove your info from these data broker sites where they're selling your info all over the web, your phone number, your address, and it helps me stay protected online.
So great because it's out there. Your info, if you guys don't realize that, it is out there and data brokers will use it and they make money off of that, which is not
Like
good.
creepypeoplefinders.com, like all those sites.
Weird. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't ever Google yourself because it'll make you want to throw up. But
You'll
it will
see
also make you want to use Delete Me, which is a great way. They'll like send you a report and they'll say, hey, we removed you from 147 different sites this month and saved you this many hours.
Which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/smartmoney. That's joindeleteme.com/smartmoney or click the link in the description, you guys, because it's powerful. So
It's
good.
real. All right, what's next on the adulting list?
All right, how about this one? It's not enough just to afford the car. You have to be able to afford the insurance and the gas.
Ooh, yeah.
It's kind of back to like that house thing. Like you can pay for it and like pay it off, but then you guys got these like
There's
little
all these
things.
other costs associated.
So you got a car and you pay for it and it's like, oh, it's mine. But then you have all this other stuff.
Well, let's talk about the cost. Insurance, here's a stat. National average for car insurance is now $2,150 per year,
Good
according
night.
to Forbes Advisor. So this is a big one because I feel like when you start driving as a kid, your parents are still largely like footing the bill. Like,
Sure.
did your parents make you pay for insurance and gas and all of that?
Well, we had insurance they covered, but we had a set amount of money every month that they did give us. I think it was like $200 maybe.
Okay.
$100, $150. I can't remember. But we had to budget that amount, or if we wanted more money, we had to go get a job and all the things. So that did cover gas and covered like our clothes. Like if we ever bought new clothes, mom and dad never bought our clothes, we had to buy it. So like that kind of thing. So it's kind of built in a little bit to the Ramsey system, I would say. Yeah.
But when you get off your parents' car insurance and you get on your own and you're paying for it, you drive differently. I truly think you drive differently.
Well, and it's just like crazy the amount of money now, George. Like in some states, the insurance it's really high. It's really high.
Well, and what some people do, never recommend this. They just avoid it. They go, you know what? I'm not going to get insurance, which is illegal.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Don't do that. It can be detrimental. And if you don't have enough insurance, that's another problem. A lot of people are undercovered. Like they only have $100,000 in liability. Well,
yes,
that can go real fast if you get into a wreck. I know. And so you got to make sure you have the right coverage. I'm gonna do one better for the audience and drop a link to our insurance pros in the car insurance world.
Oh,
They can shop the top companies for you. I just saved our associate producer, Skylar. Can I say this, Skylar? I got her hooked up with them. They saved her $80 a month with way better coverage.
Oh, seriously?
Almost
so you saved
$1,000 a year.
So great. See, look at that.
Because I was like, you're overpaying, girl. Come on, life's too short to overpay on car insurance.
Yeah,
Let's
girl.
go. Yeah,
what
girl.
an angel you are, George.
I try. All
Unbelievable.
right. Gas, again, is a problem. It's gone way up over the years. And even electricity, it costs money. I don't know if you guys know this, because we get calls on the Ramsey show, and they're like, I'm going to get an electric car because then it's free. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you think electricity is free? I get an email from the electric company, and they can actually break out. They say, hey, here's how much
do you pay
paid.
then? Do you
it's
know?
like $13.
A month?
Yeah, $13
How
a month.
often do you plug in?
I'd say I charge up a few times a month.
Okay.
So it's really not. It's not that
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, it's
in
not
Tennessee.
terrible.
Now in Massachusetts, my dad now has a Tesla. It's 3 times the cost for electricity to
Ouch.
charge
Okay,
in Massachusetts
yeah. Okay.
versus Tennessee.
It's where you live. It's where you live. Well, good.
Cents
So
per
great.
kilowatt. That's what you want to find out.
All right, last one, George, and this is a doozy. This one will get me. Is that you're behind on at least one doctor visit. That is the hard part about being an adult. You are in charge of you.
You're in charge, and it's easy to go, I'm going to put off that dentist. I'm going to put off that skin check. Forget the eye doctor. I'll keep my old glasses from 5 years ago.
Y'all, this is my worst. Out of all of this, so
This
we've
is your
talked about
toxic trait?
This is terrible. I'm terrible.
What's an appointment? You're like, I know I've punted this so far.
Oh, the dentist for sure.
When's the last time?
But I think it's a scam
Well,
because I'm fine. My teeth are fine.
as far as we know.
I don't go to the dentist.
That's like saying like, well, my car is
I've
fine
not-
because
okay,
I got a car wash.
I went to the
it looks
dentist
brand
and
new.
I did the whole like 1 year thing or whatever. And then every time I went, they're like, it looks great. It looks great. Never had cat. I mean, it's great. It's great. And finally I was like, okay, I'm going to go to 1 year. And then I went to 2 years and then I didn't go. And then I went to the dentist last year for the first time. And I can't even tell you how long. And he was like, looks great. And I was like, see, an electric toothbrush does wonders. And I don't need
Is
to
this
go.
like Ramsey DNA?
No.
I go twice a year to the
Is it
dentist,
genes?
and they're always like, well, we got to watch that cavity.
That's me too.
You have to take a close look at that. We got a new machine we're going to use on this.
So
Just
maybe
give me
if
an
I
extra
had bad
$150.
teeth, I would. But every time, nothing, y'all, nothing. So that skin,
Can I tell you, I do have my wife is making me get a skin check appointment. So
okay,
that's on
that
the
is
calendar
good.
this
That is
month.
one that makes me nervous. Like melanoma and cancer
that's
and
real
stuff. I
talk.
don't like that one. I don't like that one.
I'll tell you, I have not got a physical from the doctor's office in years.
Me neither, George. Me neither.
Can I tell you why, though?
Why?
Last time I went, he literally said, why are you here? I went, I thought you're supposed to get your physical every year. He said, you're a young, healthy man. I went, how do I know that unless I come see you? And
so
you do
true.
whatever you do to make sure I'm a young, healthy man.
I know.
And so I
Hey.
haven't been back.
I know. Well, when he took my blood pressure at the OB, he said, perfect. And I said, great. So I'm not going to go get a physical. It's bad, y'all.
Only
I know
Rachel
everyone in
would
the
be like,
comments is going to be like,
flex with the compliment of her blood pressure being perfect.
they at one point, they said I had the blood pressure of a runner. I was like, oh no. That's a great.
Do they get tips? Do they
I
turn
don't
it
know.
like
I
tip
just have
screen
great
after?
blood pressure. I don't know. Great teeth, great blood pressure. I don't know.
My
So anyways, the
gosh.
doctor's situation is really bad. Now I do my kids, I'm on top of that. I do their yearly. I do dentists for them. I mean, all of it. So
For some reason, you think as an adult, my health will only get better.
it only goes up. Anyways,
So
this is my bad.
crazy.
This is my bad one. I know I need to. And Winston is so, he does it all. Does it all. It's like, I have a doctor's appointment this month. And I'm like, how? Because you just had a doctor's appointment last month. But it's like a dermatologist. It's all,
Gets it knocked out.
he keeps up with his stuff.
Yeah.
I do not.
Well, part of this is having, health insurance in place and an HSA.
What a fun transition, George.
Well, I'm just saying, it makes it easier when you know, like, you're not going to take the brunt of the bill.
I know, it is true.
Because you're paying for this health insurance. Insurance transfers risk to the insurance company instead of
Yes.
you for things you can't handle.
That's
and
right.
Health is one of those things. And an HSA, we've mentioned on the show before, but a health savings account, if you have a high deductible health plan, is a great way to save for those expenses.
Yep, that's right. All right, George, let's do some wrap up. Okay, here are things as an adult that we got to do. If we're gonna own our age and say it is up to us in life, here are a couple of things that you need to do. Set up a 401k or a 403b through your job and actually do it. Once you're debt free and you have an emergency fund, do that, you guys. Do your 401k, create a monthly budget, sit down, have a plan for your money, pay your taxes. It's very important.
On time.
Make a will.
Oh,
This is a big
that's
one.
a good one.
This is a good one because a lot of people, this is when people put off. And I don't put this one off. Huh. Isn't that great?
Look at that.
I know. Say, good job, Rachel.
Well, the will is a good one because you set and forget it until you have a big life change.
Yes.
So it's not a thing you have to like go and update every single
That's
year.
right, yep.
Can I mention another one? Term
Yeah.
life insurance.
Yes.
When
Oh,
people don't
gosh, yeah.
have term life insurance in place and they are married or they have a kid, I get like heart palpitations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting nervous because it's so affordable and it will set your family up to grieve your loss, but not struggle financially.
That's right. Yep. And Xander Insurance is like the best place to get that. They
Yes.
shop a ton of
And we have great
different
partners for all of these, like Mama Bear, legal forms.
For the
I got
will,
my
yeah,
will
yeah.
done online, 20 minutes.
Because that is one thing, you guys, that like this
done.
kind of stuff, it is, and shopping your insurance, all of that, like these are important things to do. And so that is part of what we've done is outsourcing that to companies that this is what they do. And they're really good at it. They're great people. They have great services. So make sure to check it out on all these areas. So we'll put some links, down below so you can.
Can we just
can check
make
that
like
out.
a challenge to our audience and say, hey, take a Saturday and just do an adulting afternoon with you,
that's
your
good.
spouse,
Make a Rita
a friend,
and do
make
it.
you a little Reddish Rita and go, you know what? I'm going to download the Every Dollar Budgeting app. I'm going to get that will done from Mama Bear Legal Forms. I'm going to do the insurance checkup,
Mm-hmm.
RamseySolutions.com/checkup. Make sure I've got everything in place. And you will feel so much better. You will sleep
Yes.
great. You will feel so productive.
Productive. That's it too.
There's
You got
something
stuff
about
done?
it.
Oh, I agree.
When it's
I'm
just
with
like
you.
you put it off for so long and then you do it and you realize, Oh, it took 20 minutes. Why did I delay it for 20 years?
Yes. Yep. Don't procrastinate
That's good.
on that.
And maturity. This is a part of just being mature. You set your feelings aside
I know.
and you just freaking do it.
Yep. And you know, one of the things too, George, just like an attitude shift for all of that we're talking about. Sounds a little cheesy, but go here with me. Of just being grateful for all of it, right? We can complain about, the gas in the car or how much home stuff we have to do because all of it. But then you can be like, oh my gosh, I have a car or I have a home, right? There's a level of that gratitude that can come with, again, a lot of the responsibility as an adult. But at the end of the day, like, it's a gift.
And these are all still luxuries.
Totally.
Like there's someone out there who dreams of the life you have right now, as you have it. You
So
have a
enjoy
house.
it.
It's not the perfect house. It's not the forever home. You wish you could do this thing to it, but you have a house. You have a car. You have a wonderful, healthy family. And I think it's easy to take it for granted.
Totally.
And
Absolutely.
I just hung out with Mike Rowe. This is my one flex. He did Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee for my YouTube channel.
Oh, fun.
And he had this great anecdote from his family growing up. He thought he was upper middle class wealthy because his family would always say this line, "Isn't it a shame?" And he said, someone was getting takeout, Chinese delivered to the house. They'd be like, their parents would be like, "Isn't it a shame that they never learned how to cook?" Isn't it a shame some people have to go take a vacation to see nature and we live on a farm and we just have access to it all the time?
Oh, it's a great perspective.
And it was a great perspective shift to go like, isn't it a shame some people X, Y, Z? And it's a great way to flip the script and go, I'm grateful for the life I have.
I have a wonderful life. Yeah.
And you've been teaching people about
So
gratitude
good.
forever. And you've got a whole kids book about it that's wonderful. So if you're trying to teach your kids this stuff as an adult, be sure to check out Rachel's book.
I'm glad for where I am. So sweet. So good. Well, this is almost the end of the episode, and we close out every episode with Guilty as Charged. And this is where our producer, Lindsay, gives us a new Guilty as Charged question every week. And if we are guilty, we have to take a sip. So, Linz.
All right. Have you ever not taken your own advice? Are you guilty of giving it out, but you don't even take it?
I had a moment. It was this year, I'll be honest.
Thank you for your honesty.
Are you ready for this? I feel like I need to drink the Rita before I say this. They may have to cut this out of the episode, but.
Oh, wow. Where are we going?
Juicy.
What a tease.
Yep. I've shared this before that when we fund retirement, we always do it at the beginning of the year to try to get the full year. So sometimes it's like January, February, March, but we'll put a lot of money in retirement and then we're done the rest of the year. And this was year, y'all. I looked at the account and not that it's like crazy amount, but it's enough that you're like, okay, I can do the calculations. What if we just skipped 1 year?
Of like investing?
Just didn't invest 1 year and took a great vacation with that money instead. We didn't.
Is this because of Winston?
I genuinely, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely thought, we're okay. And 1 year is 1 year really gonna hurt us. So if I was not married, I may not have invested this year.
Wow. So Winston talked you off the ledge. He was
he was like, babe, no, we're done. And I was like, okay, I get it. But like, it's fun to kind of like be a rebel. And in my world, that's where I'm a rebel. We're like, I'm not gonna fund my 401k. That's like,
wow.
Oh my gosh, right? That's
You
a
need
big
to
deal.
write a book called Rebel Money Moves. And you're like, 1 year, I didn't max out my 401k.
I would go up to the match. I would probably do that. Wow. But like what? Yeah. What if you didn't I don't know.
Then I might as well be America's bad boy for not maxing out my HSA 1 year, Rachel.
We should do it, George.
I have not been maxing out my HSA until recently.
Okay.
I should have been. But it wasn't a
Don't
it wasn't
say
a big
should
deal.
have. That's. Yeah.
Oh, get your therapy out of here. There's no shame.
Anyways, that's
I just,
mine.
yeah.
I didn't do it though. But I'm sure there's advice that I've like told people of like, oh my gosh, like in life,
Yeah.
you should. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I practice what I preach, but I'm not always in the healthiest place. It's not financial for me, but like I tend to think that I have a thick skin, and then I go to the comment section.
Oh, George.
You know what I mean? So my advice, I'm always telling people like, hey, like, who cares what other people think?
Who cares? And then you're like
they don't pay your bills, all of that. You know what I mean? Like run your own race, and then I'm just like knee deep in a subreddit. I'm like, what did they say? It's a long-term pattern for me that I probably should see someone about.
So here's the question: is it better on the other side, not being a troll?
100%.
Yeah, so it was.
It's just
good.
a poison that you drink when you like say a mean comment on the internet.
I know.
Like, when has that ever changed someone's
life? It
life?
does baffle me. And I like follow different people, and I'll go down sometimes on a comment section on like theirs, and the things people say, I'm like, somebody had to sit there on their phone and like,
Oh yeah.
just be me. I mean, it's just crazy to me. I don't know. It's wild.
And then part of me is like, who raised you? Like, is your mother okay with you just spouting this stuff?
I know.
And the language, Rachel.
The language.
I clutch my pearls every time they say these words on the internet that live forever.
Yeah, I
So,
know.
Watch what you post on social media.
Wow. All right.
Don't be a troll.
We're guilty.
Yeah.
401k and haters. Just, we're cray-cray. Crazy. All right, who finished their drink first?
You're a lot closer.
It was so good. I'm going 10 out of 10, y'all.
Yay.
We haven't had that in a while, and I'm doing it.
I have nothing bad to say about this drink. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Congratulations
Give me
to
the
mixologist
ingredients.
Michael.
I want to know if I can make this at home.
Okay, so this was the Reddish Rita, which mixologist Michael Reddish.
Mm-hmm.
This is his like signature
And the
margarita.
salt is like really good salt.
Very good crunchy salt.
Mm-hmm.
And reminder, this is the signature cocktail on the Live Like No One Else cruise that the whole Ramsey team is throwing. So join us for the cruise if you want to try it out. Here's the cost breakdown. $3.35 per serving, which I think is a great price for the quality of margarita this is.
Yep.
Because can we admit, there's some margs out there, very weak.
Oh,
Do
for
sour
sure.
mixes. They're just like cheap and
For
syrupy and gross.
For sure.
This is high quality. It's got reposado tequila, which is a little bit aged. It's got the blanco tequila, so it's a mix.
2 different tequilas?
Yes. Orange liqueur, so
Yep.
it's kind of your triple sec.
Yep.
Fresh squeezed lime juice.
That's key.
Fresh squeezed.
Don't go that little green lemon lime thing.
No.
Squeeze it. No.
Who raised
Real.
you?
Real lime.
Squeeze a lime. And lastly, some agave nectar, which I think is the only way to sweeten a margarita. Don't use anything else.
Agave.
No simple syrup. Agave
Really?
nectar.
No simple syrup.
You got to go agave.
And what's the difference?
Well, agave nectar is from the agave plant, Rachel. I don't want to have to explain it to you because I don't know. But it's, I think, a more natural form
Okay. It's
of
like a honey.
sweetener. Yes, it's more in the honey family.
Okay.
But it's not made by bees. I do know that. So go make this at home this weekend. What? Is that false?
I think we know that. You said a plant, not an animal. I'll put you on my prayer
an
list.
I think there's an agave plant. It's fine. Roast me in the comments about my lack of agave knowledge
Oh my gosh.
because you're so great. All right, that was fun. Make it this weekend or join us on the Ramsey cruise in March of 2025 and have the signature Reddish Rita there. So get the recipe in the show notes and enjoy.
So great. Well, it's closing time, George.
Closing time.
Thanks for listening and watching this episode, you guys. We always appreciate you. Thankful for you. Make sure to leave some comments, subscribe, share it with your friends, with your family. Word of mouth is the way that this show spreads the goodness and the joy of life and adulting.
What a toast that was.
So, join us next Thursday on an all-new episode of
Smart Money Happy Hour.